here. Good morning, principals. Tony Pellegrini here. Hey, great to reach out and connect with you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to connect with you regarding math. When the Utah Principals Association shared that they were going to be doing a special on math programs in the state of Utah, I got so excited because I've been hearing great things about some things that are happening over at Monticello Elementary in San Juan County with Mrs. Olson in the 5th grade at Monticello Elementary. So I invited her today to talk to us a little bit about her tabletop math program and what she's doing to encourage learners to love math. Mrs. Olson, go ahead. What are you working on?
So I got inspired by my students to make this method. And so it just came to me one day. I'm going to share my screen so that you can kind of see it.
Thank you.
Here we go. Awesome. There it is. Okay. One day I was watching my kids work through a long division problem, and I was noticing that they were having struggles working with moving the numbers from one side to the other. So I'm going to give you an example. In the normal way, we want to say normal way that we do long division, or the way that's been taught in years past, we ask students to do this. So not only are we doing multiplication, we're also dividing, we're subtracting, we're moving numbers both up, down, they're moving all over the place. So I was noticing that kids found this complicated. So I looked in to see if there was any other ways. And I came up with, from my Google search on the internet, something that's called partial quotients. And the search did something like this. They would take the same problem and they would make it like this. It kind of looks like a hangman to me. So the students would then take 14 and they would take a chunk out of 378. So they would say, oh, I could times 14 by 10. 14 times 10 gives me 140. And then they could subtract this away, and they could just take away chunk piece by piece. This gave me maybe 30 or 40% more kids that would understand how to do this. But then, yet again, we're using up multiple different operations, and we're bouncing from left to right and back again and underneath and back around. So kids were getting confused. So then I came up with an idea that I call the tabletop method. The only reason I call it the tabletop method is because my students came up with this. They came up with the name because they thought that what it looked like was a table. So this is how we set it up. We're going to take the same problem that we had before, 378 and 14. So the reason that I think that this really works is because my students are used to reading and working things from left to right. It seems like they can understand moving from left to right a little easier. So they just have to say they're going to take out a chunk at a time, and they're going to multiply 14 by something so that I can take away a chunk over here in this column. So for my special ed students especially, or some students that maybe didn't understand the concept of long division in the first place, they always start with the easier ones. They take the tens, and when tens don't work, they'll multiply by 5. And if 5's too big, then they'll do 2's, and then they'll do 1's. I had a student who was not passing he needed to be reevaluated for special education in 5th grade, and he had never been able to do long division before. And when he was reevaluated, this method gave him the ability to pass off 6th grade level long division. He did triple digit divisors into, it was 5-digit long dividend because he got the concept. So what you're going to do is you're going to work 14 times, and let's just say I start with 10. 14 times 10 gives me 140. And then I just subtract over here. And make sure I do my math correctly. So then they notice, okay, this number right here is still greater than my one before, so I can actually take out another 10. And subtract. And then they notice that, okay, this is smaller than 140, so I need to, some kids will go as far to say, oh, it's still greater than half, so I could take out another 5. They'll work the problem out over here on sorry, this side of the paper. 14 times 5 is 20. So 14 times 5 is 70. So then we put 5 in here, and we get 70. Can you still see my problem? Yep. 8, 2. So I have 28 left over. It's less than our 70, so we need to do something smaller. If they get to the point where they just want to take out one at a time, they could. I can see that it's going to be a 2. So 14 times 2 gives me 28, and I get down to 0. If they have anything left over here in this column, we call that the remainder if it's less than what's in our column over here. Then to get our solution or our quotient, we just add up this middle column. And our quotient is going to be 27. If there was a remainder, it would be found in your right-hand column. And that's the tabletop method.
That is fun. Hey, would you mind stop sharing your screen for just one moment? We'll wrap up here.
Yep.
First of all, why weren't you teaching math in 3rd grade in Manchester, Connecticut when I took multiplication and division?
Sweet. Whacking hands.
Yeah.
Is that how long ago it was?
The nuns were whacking my knuckles. Absolutely, they were whacking my knuckles. Hey, I did want to, let's see, let me just make sure I can share my chat and participants. Let me get out of my full screen. Give me just a second. And over here on the right hand, tell us what this special education testimony and principal testimonial are.
So what I did is I took a moment and I just made a quick little video. These are not clean, beautiful videos. They are just a quick video of my special ed teacher and his testimonial really about how well it's working with his special ed kids and how it's not just for 5th grade math or for 4th grade math. He can see it being effective and helpful for any students who need to do long division in the future. And then there's another one for my principal who just said that she basically talks about how looking into math in innovative new ways that we can help kids figure out, listening to our kids, our students, and making sure that we can really make math understandable to them. And that's kind of how my principal kind of went, how she did her little video. So both of those are just links to those videos, and then my email's under there if anybody has questions, comments.
We'll reach out to you via email if there are questions or issues. Thank you so very much. Thank you, principals, for listening. Just please share this webinar with your math teachers that you think might like some help with long division. And let's love math. Appreciate you, Mrs. Olson. Hope to see you soon. And principals, we'll see you next year on our next webinar. Hope to see you through the Elementary School Principal Leader Journal. Bye to all. See you later. Thank you.
Thanks.